for real? It's so funny!
Helen? What story? I don't understand why you suddenly text me laughing so hard.
It could only be one thing, right? I was a little surprised to hear about what you've been up to. Is it true you're dating Toby?
Oh, yeah. It's been about a year and a half now.
So, it's true! I'm surprised that it's been going on longer than I thought.
What's up with Toby?
He's my ex-boyfriend, right?
Yeah, that was 5 or 6 years ago when we were in college.
Oh, you knew about him. I thought you had forgotten about him. How can you date your friend's ex-boyfriend? I'm amused by your brazenness going out with other people's ex.
Don't talk like that. It's just that I started dating someone who happened to be my friend's ex. Even you once dated the ex-boyfriend of someone we know.
Oh, I did?
Let's not talk about it anyway, since it's not going anywhere. It won't do either of us any good.
Ah, okay.
So?
Huh?
You seemed pretty surprised when you found out I was going out with Toby. Was it important enough to text me?
Because, it's that Toby.
That?
I've seen his parents' house.
His parents' house?
It's a one-story house, very shabby.
Oh, that place.
So, you've seen it? You're so brave not to break up after seeing it.
Not only have I seen it, I've been there a few times. I mean, that's not Toby's parents' house. It's a rental place that Toby rents.
Oh, he's renting it? You mean he's renting it to live in alone?
Yeah, that's right.
I see. Living alone usually means renting an apartment.
But since his hobby is bodybuilding, he looked for a place where he could do it without worrying about the noise of dropping the weights, and that's where he ended up. He chose a place that is just outside of downtown so that he can reach his goal of 10,000 steps a day, so the rent is not much different from renting an apartment downtown. He's next to me right now and just told me that.
I guess he's still a musclehead, huh? So, you're with him now.
We're on a date.
Oh my, I'm sorry to have disturbed you.
No, it's okay. I'm fine.
Since Toby lives in a shabby house, he probably wouldn't take you anywhere worthwhile on a date anyway. It wouldn't matter if we were in college, but it's tough to go on a date at the park as an adult, isn't it? Oh, me too. I have a date with my boyfriend now. He's a hot guy who is nothing compared to a low-level guy like Toby. We are going out to dinner tonight at a fancy restaurant with a great view.
Wow, that's great.
See you later. Hey, Kate. Are you seriously gonna continue going out with Toby?
What? Why?
A man with no future like that. His salary isn't that much, right?
Well, it's fine if I continue to work as before. I like working too. I guess I never really cared.
What? It's so sad that you can't be a housewife. You're so insistent about liking to work. Compared to that, my boyfriend is a handsome, hot man with an annual income of $200,000.
I remember your dream was to marry into wealth.
That's right. I'll tell you now, that's the reason why Toby and I broke up.
Is that so?
let's go back to what we talked about today. Toby is poor, right? I went out with him in college because he had good grades and I was hoping he'd be a good earner. But after job hunting, he got a job offer from a small company. I realized that people who are born poor will always be poor.
You know what? I work for the same company as Toby.
The situation is very different between a man who has to provide for a woman and a woman who has to be supported, isn't it?
I don't think it's always like that.
Yeah, but from what I heard today, he's still living in that shabby house even after he got a job, right? I broke up with him because he has no future in that sense. I wouldn't want to use that dump even if it were a warehouse. It was a good decision to break up with him.
Money isn't everything. Toby likes that house too. That's why he's been living there all these years. Besides, I'm in a relationship with Toby because I'm attracted to his personality.
Well, that's okay. The happiest thing for a woman is to marry a high achiever and become a housewife. You've given up on that and now your life is all over.
I wouldn't stop working even if I married someone with money. I'm not trying to put down stay-at-home housewives. But women who like to work, it's not so strange.
Yes, you're a sore loser. Bye-bye then.
Kate, is this a good time? Yeah, sure. We're planning to go look for a place to rent together. Yes? If we are gonna do that, why don't we just buy a house? Huh? Buying a house? I wonder if that's a good idea. According to the boss, after we get married, we'll be assigned to departments that require business trips but no transfers. Even if we have to move, if we own a house, we can rent it out and make some income. Yeah, well, I think it's understandable. But, I'm not worried about moving or anything. I'm talking about the premise of it in the first place. Huh? I'm sorry if this offends you, but it's important, so I'll say it. Yeah, that's fine. You can say whatever you want. Thank you. Well, to be honest, neither of us have the best paying jobs. Of course, it's enough to get by, but when it comes to buying a house, I think it would be better to save up for a down payment at least. Oh. Huh? I'm sorry, did I offend you? But I have to be clear about this. I'm sorry. I'm not angry. I spoke in the wrong order. Oh, what? I already have the money to buy the house. Oh, really? It's spread out over several accounts, and there's about $3 million in total, so I can pay in cash in one lump sum from that. What? Oh, I was so surprised I hit enter too soon. You're careless. Which one of us is careless? I've never heard of anyone having such a tremendous amount of money before. What kind of money is it? It's not a lottery ticket, is it? It's so much money, I can't believe it, and my heart is pounding. Oh, sorry. I was gonna tell you about it one of these days, but I thought it was a funny way to start. I see. You are trying to talk about it. I'm sorry I startled you. But it's a long story, and I don't think I can tell it all in one text. So, I'll just give you the gist of it. Okay, tell me. Well, let's see. The reason I have the money to buy the house is my grandfather on my mother's side suddenly saw I had talent or something. When I was a college student, he gifted me some of his assets and real estate while he was alive. I started investing it, and it seemed to suit me. It became fun, and I did a lot of things with it. I found myself with $3 million.
Wow, you must really have a talent.
I was surprised too. I made a promise to my grandfather about this. Never talk about money with anyone unless you really trust them. Keep your job. Maintain a standard of living that allows you to make ends meet within your paycheck. Do not touch the money you have in your portfolio except in case of an emergency. I'm still following those rules.
I see. You seem like a laid-back, relaxed, muscle-bound guy, so it's surprising that you have such a talent. I have an image of someone with talent in asset management as someone who wears glasses, a suit, and has parted hair.
Am I being dissed or praised?
I'm just saying what I think of you. If anything, I'm complimenting you, you know? I like the relaxed Toby more than the stiff-looking guy.
Thanks. Oh, I'm still managing my assets. After marriage, I'm planning to invest within a reasonable range, and I was gonna share the information with you.
I don't know much about asset management, so I'll probably leave it all up to you. If an amateur like me got involved, I'm afraid I'd end up losing the assets that you have created.
The main purpose of this is to let you know that we have a reserve for emergencies. I just need you to know that I'm doing this. You're very similar to me in a financial sense. You're very prudent with your money and have good common sense. I thought you would be one of the people my grandfather would trust. That's why I decided to tell you.
Well, thank you. I'm glad you did.
Well, I'll explain it to you again next weekend when I have all the proper documents. And then we'll talk about the new place.
Okay, I got it. Hey! What is it with you, Kate? Give me a proper explanation. What? What are you talking about? Of course it's the house! The house! There was a beautiful house that looked like a designer property built near my friend's apartment. Toby went inside. What's going on? Is everything okay? What? I can't believe you bought a house with Toby's cheap monthly salary. Kate, aren't you being pushed around by the musclehead? Are you okay?
Well, we are thinking about the future, so we are fine financially. We are thinking about things as a couple. You don't need to worry about us.
Is that so? Well, never mind. See ya! Toby, long time no see. Hi, this is Helen.
What is it now? I have no reason to talk to you.
Don't say that. We are friends, aren't we?
What the hell are you talking about when you say we are friends? When I was in college, you mistook the house I rented to live alone in for my parents' house and left me. At least we are not the kind of friends who put heart marks at the end of words. I think you've got a wrong guy.
No, I don't. I'm not mistaking you for someone else. I'm talking to you. I'm sorry for what I did to you. I was so blind. I'm so sick of it. The boyfriend I was dating was in debt. I thought he made $200,000 a year, but he said the sum of his parents and his own debts was $200,000.
So?
You know what? I've broken up with that worthless guy. I want to get back together with you. Aren't you happy?
What?
You built a house, didn't you? Your wealthy grandfather built it for you, didn't he?
What? Why would he do that?
You don't have to pretend anymore. I did some premarital research on you. And then it seems that your grandfather was a wealthy man. You yourself are a man of small means. But you're in a position to get your grandfather's inheritance eventually, right? You have about $3 million in savings.
Do you know how long it's been since we broke up?
You lived in a rundown house, even though you were a rich kid. Of course, I would misunderstand. If I had known you had $3 million in savings, I never would have broken up with you. Well, now that that's settled, I'll marry you right now. Toby, I heard you were very sad when I broke up with you. You still love me, don't you?
Huh?
I'm in front of your new house. I brought the marriage certificate.
I'm already married.
What?
You know, I've been dating Kate for a long time, right?
But I'm a better woman than her. You couldn't forget me, could you? You were very depressed after you were rejected by me, right?
I was depressed because you made fun of the house I liked and rented and called me poor. I hated myself for dating a woman like that. Do you know what a difference in values is?
Huh?
Kate and I have very similar values. Even if we have money, we don't spend it recklessly. Rather, I don't understand your nerve to spend as much as you have. You can't be happy being married to someone who thinks exactly the opposite of you. In the first place, I'm not gonna use my money to pay for the debt you incurred.
What? How do you know about my debt?
I knew it.
Huh? What do you mean, I knew it?
I heard from Kate that you were spending money carelessly, so I'm sorry I just said that to trick you.
Huh?
It seems like I hit a nerve, huh? When I was a college student, I had a relationship with you without knowing it. It's a complete dark history for me. Marrying you would be a joke.
Kate! I'm sorry. Toby will live with me. From today onwards, Toby's wife is me and you're out.
What?
I moved my stuff into Toby's new house. He was so rude to me yesterday, saying all kinds of things to me like he was rejecting me. But when I went there to give it one last try to be his new wife, I saw a sign in the living room that said, "Welcome! Expensive wine and fine cheese and my favorite hors d'oeuvres." I guess he couldn't forget how attractive I am. Well, it's true that I'm a better woman than you are.
Helen?
He was expecting my arrival and had a surprise for me. It was Toby's fault that the door was locked, so I had no choice but to break the window and enter through the backyard. Oh, I'm so loved. I'm sorry for you, but he's mine. So sorry.
Toby and I are preparing dinner at our new house right now.
What? What are you talking about? There's no one at home.
Where are you?
Where? A two-story white house near the market.
That's not our house.
What?
Oh, I see. You saw Toby go in there before, so you must have misunderstood, right?
Misunderstood? Huh? What do you mean? Isn't this Toby's house?
He went there because he knew the owner of the house.
What?
He was just there to help out when he moved in.
Then, this welcome...
Oh, by the way, he's moving in with his new wife today.
Oh, shit!
What?
Someone just came home!
It seems there was a big commotion at the wrong house after that. Of course there would be. The owner of the house was so excited to come home with his wife, who was going to live with him from that day, only to find a woman he didn't know. Toby quickly contacted him to avoid any unnecessary trouble. The vintage wine for his wife was already drunk and empty. Helen, who was trespassing, was taken into custody by the police. She was taken away crying. Later, they charged Helen $3,000 for the wine and the broken window. This is how her parents found out about the $30,000 debt she had. She is now employed by a civil engineering company as a live-in employee and getting counseling while paying back her debts. The other day, she contacted me in tears, so I blocked her and refused to receive her calls and said bye-bye.